talk about is that quadratic equations, functions come in four different ways of writing them. They're the same function, but we can write them in four ways. And our job today is going to be able to move between the different ways. Like, oh, here's this way, let's do this way. Oh, here's this way, let's do this way. That's what we're going to do. Do we know how to do all of these? Yes. Do we remember how to do this one? No, but we're going to talk about it today, and that's what we're going to do. So you're going to only have like 4 problems tonight. What I will do is I will give you one of these, and you will have to find the other 3 ways of writing it, right? But nothing new. So here, let's start here. When we were in Algebra 1, we would be given a line in standard form. Standard form means it's got the x squared first. It's got the linear term, the guy with just an x, he comes next, and the guy with no x at all, he goes last. That's standard form. What I'd like you to do with your table mates is please write it in factored form. That's what we did yesterday. That's the x factoring. Please, please, please write this baby in factored form.
I found this on the web.
Stop talking. Yes. Oh, yes, because Jordan. Shouldn't be hard. It should be pretty straightforward, right? Nothing scary here. Factors of 16 that subtract to be 6. We're going to say x minus 8 and x plus 2. Nice and easy, right? Now, I'll be honest. What I am noticing, though, is that different teachers really focus on different things. So I've seen a lot of my Algebra 2 trig friends say that their Algebra 2 trig teacher really wanted their answer in this standard form. And what you're going to find from me, because I want to have more information, I'm going to be the queen of vertex form, because that's the easiest way to graph from. So we're going to write this now in vertex form, and a lot of you are like thinking, what the hell is even vertex form? I don't remember that. So I'm going to change screens, -16, -6. So here we go. F of x equals x squared minus 6x minus 16. We're going to write it in vertex form. But the first thing I need to remind you is, what the hell is vertex form? And let's see what it is. We know what it is when I show it to you, because we did it last chapter a ton. Remember I said to this, what is the shape of this graph right here, right? And I would say, what is that? And you guys would be like, oh, it's squared. That's a U graph. Or, oh, it's cubed. That's a S. That's the lightning bolt graph. Or, oh, it's square rooted. That is the shooting star. This is called vertex form, right? And we do this all the time. So what we do when we have this, the reason we like this is graphing it is so easy. It would be over 3, up 5. It's a U. Boom, done and done. That's why vertex form for pre-calc is so, so valuable. So the question is, how do I go from this to make it look like this? And I'm going to remind you how to do that. You guys ready to rock and roll with this? That's what we're going to spend most of our time doing today, is remembering how to do vertex form. Not going to lie, I love vertex form. Like, it's clean. You don't have to like think of the factors. You follow the steps. It makes me very happy. You guys, apparently Jordan says no. So I think that's what I'm getting a lot today. But you know, I'm the happy guy right there. That's me. That's me. Okay, so here we go. You guys ready? Let me erase this. So first thing is, I don't like the f of x. I'm going to be doing some math up here, so I'm going to switch that to y. And the reason I'm going to do it is it just makes it nicer and neater. So the first thing I would like you to do this for me. In about 5 minutes, my Algebra 2 friends are going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. My trig friends, strangely, hasn't said that at all today. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to need to put that guy in a weird little parentheses. Do you need extra pens? I do. Well, actually, here, read the ghost. You got it? No, like, wiper. Oh. Okay, so here we go. I need to put them in that weird little parenthesis thing. But in order to do that, I have to force it to happen. And I'm going to force it to happen by doing a thing called completing the square. Now, here's what. I'm going to be adding a weird-ass number right there. It's going to be whatever number I want it to be. But at this point, this stupid negative 16 is in the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask that negative 16 to please leave the room. I'm going to ask him to move to the other side. How do I move a negative 16 to the other side? I add 16. So I'd like everyone to start right here. And in a few seconds, you're going to be like, oh, God, yeah, okay. I'm telling you, it's coming. Okay, so here's what I have. I have this action happening. I have a nice space there. And if you had me last year, you know that I would actually put a cute little box right there, right? I am going to find a magical number that would take this guy and make it into a perfect little binomial. And that is called completing the square. And the way I do it is, I'm going to see if anyone remembers how to fill in that box. I have candy on the line if you want to raise your hand. And if anyone thinks they remember how to fill in that box. You remember? What do you do? Divide by 2. You get candy after class. Divide by 2, so that'll be 3. And square. Did you say that too?
I just said divide. Divide by 2.
Oh, that's it. Then candy for you too, my friend. Okay, I'm going to have the 9. But here's what. I am not allowed in math just to add random ass stuff on an equation. I mean, it would be nice. But what I do to this side, I got to do to this side. So here's what I have. I have y plus 25 equals. Okay, so here's what we're gonna put this in a little magical parenthesis, and it's super easy. You steal the x, you steal the minus, and this guy, either you cut the 6 in half, or you square root this guy and get 3. Doesn't matter. Yes.
You just divide the 6 by 2 and then put 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You do either one. But people ask me, where does it come from? And it comes from that.
Divide by 2.
Just take that 6 and just cut it in half.
So, and like every single situation, like there's going to be a number for an x and you just divide by 2.
Yep. And people are thinking, why does that work? Because check this out. If I clawed this back out, you're not going to have to do this. I'm just proving you that this works. Watch what happens when I claw it back out. X squared minus 6x minus 9. I'm back to there. Does that make sense? So it lets me take this goo, that's official math language, and write it like this. I'm almost done. Now, I'm going to ask that 25 to please head back over, right? It's like, thank you, 25. You were out of the way. Can you head back over? So I'm going to put him back over. So now, here's what's cool about this. If I wanted to graph this crazy guy, if I wanted to sketch a graph of him, here's what I would do. I would go over 3, down 25. That's pretty stupid. Over 3, down 25, and it would be a U. Boom. Look how fast I could do it. And done. And then I have done the 4 ways. Standard form, factor, vertex, and graph. Yes.
Why when you wrote it initially it said fx equals x squared plus 5?
Plus x, no, I was just giving you a random, I just wanted to show you what's
That wasn't the
no.
same.
Yeah, that's, no. I just wanted you to feel like, what the hell is vertex form look like? Because I kept using that, and I think there are a lot of people are like, I don't know what this is. So here we go. If I was finishing this up, f of x is x minus 3 squared minus 25. I've done standard form, factor form, vertex form, and if I want to graph this bad boy, boom, like that. Right? That's going to be 3. Easy. That's pre-calc. Pre-calc takes stuff we know and puts it all together so we can jump around. because sometimes this is useful. Sometimes this is useful to solve it. Sometimes this is useful, right? So that's what it allows us to do. Is everybody cool with that? Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to practice vertex form a few more times because I feel like we're a little shaky. Okay, so let's practice vertex form. You guys ready? New problem, we're trying this one. Everyone should be right. There you go, new problem to try.
I'm on my.
He's not nearly that hairy. And I think it's weird that his arms are really hairy, but his chest hairless. Really?
Skin tight.
Skin tight, okay, because I'm seeing visible abs and some kind of thing happening with his like nipples or something. I don't know what's occurring. Okay, yeah. Okay. So here we go. You guys ready? Let's do this together. Let's write it in vertex form. Do you guys need me to do it? You guys want to try it? Okay, go ahead. Move that 58. Ask it. Okay, sorry. There are other kids in class. She often does.
Yesterday, Paula goes, you know what?
Yes, no, you're right.
No, wait, continue from there. You are correct.
Wait, this turns to a positive 6. Actually subtracting 6. Oh, I see.
Oh.
That is a really interesting question. I'm going to stop and I'm going to address Jordan's overriding concern
It's
here.
because once you do that, then you must do that.
Yeah,
It's not like taking it over and moving it.
Exactly. He's going to put me out of a job because he's perfect at his job. Here's the deal. If it's already there, if it's in your problem, that's when you do the opposite. This guy is already here, I do the opposite. If you are adding something that has never been there before, then you balance it out. Does that make sense? So you're right. This is a negative one. That's plus and plus. And it is weird for our brain. So I want you to understand, if you're asking something to move, you do negative. If you're adding brand new stuff on that's never been there, you do positive. So look, we're almost done with this. X plus 8, quantity squared, minus 6. If I wanted to graph this baby really fast, it would be negative 8, negative 6. Boom. So fast. So fast. How'd we do? How'd we do? Ready to step up our game a little bit? Okay. Well, yeah. So I take that, cut in half, get 8 squared. Get the whole square. You have nothing to have, you got to blank. Put a square there so you know. And now you know what? That's what makes this gypsy magic that we have. Luckily, after my physical. Great question. Wow, nicely done, everybody. Okay, it's going to get scary here for a minute. And I don't know why I did such big numbers. Let me see if I can. I can't do it. Okay, here we go. Sorry it's so big. I don't know why I picked that last time.
That was messed up.
I know, but it works out nice. Okay, so here we go. No, I know. So the first thing is, I still don't like that 185. I'm still, the 185 is bugging me. We're going to start there. We're going to get rid of that 185. Every time we're going to ask that stupid number to get out of the way. Okay, so here's what. I don't like numbers in front of the x squared. Like really, in almost every problem that we do, we don't like number in front of the x squared. So before I do anything else, I'm going to ask that, I'm going to vacuum out that 12 from these two guys. Do I worry about him? No, he's just hanging out till the end. I just asked him. It's like you're gonna renovate your house, so you're just gonna ask, someone to move out of your house while you're doing stuff. So the first thing we're gonna do, and I'm gonna grab a calculator for you, I am going to ask this 12 to come out, and here's what, I'm vacuuming him out of this guy, and because I have a calculator, I am gonna take 96, and I am gonna divide it by 12, and I get 8, because Mr. Kumon over there knew that in his head. So, yeah, am I wrong?
Fifth grade.
Okay, so now I'm gonna keep on rolling, and I'm gonna do everything that I normally would do, right? I'm gonna do everything I would normally do. I'm gonna take that 8, I'm gonna chop that 8 in half, split it 4, I'm gonna square 4, I'm gonna get 16, but hold the phone for a second. I am not gonna put 16 on both sides. You know why?
12 times.
No, it's just ridiculous.
Well, here's why. I got the 12 out there. I got to account for him. What the hell, Jace? Really? I swear to God, I don't know where regular Jace is, but I love new Jace. So I am going to take the 16 times 12 and do it on both sides.
Yeah, where's Jace?
But God.
I don't know.
So here's what I got going on. Y plus 7. See, it's not so scary. Equals. Now the 12 just keeps hanging out. He just keeps hanging out. We don't care. You know what he's going to do is to make her graph super skinny, right? And now we do this little crazy magic just like we've been doing it. So really, I know the 12 looked scary, but it super is not. Last step, throw that 7 back over there. So if I wanted to graph this crazy graph, it would be 4 this way, 7 this way, and skinny as all hell, right? It's going to look like that. It's going to look like that. Yeah? Yeah. How is that? How is that? Okay. Here we go. Next one. Here's what I'm going to give you a little hint. It works exactly like the 12, but let's make it a -1. So the first step always, I don't like that 3. I need the space. So step 1, make your space. Step 2, suck out that -1. We want nothing in front of the x squared. We want that baby naked. And then keep rolling. I'm going to do it with you in a second. I'll see how far you do that. Right here.
One day Miss Super's gonna get a hold of all your recorded lessons. She's gonna be like, what?
I know. I swear to God, I'll be fine. I tell your parents at back to school night. I'm like, I record the lessons, not for you. Never listen. And they're like, and now I'm fired. Everyone's still with me. I am now going to take out that -1, right? Because it's like -1, you're bugging me. He's going to sit out front. Hey, guess what he's going to do? He's going to turn my graph upside down at the end, right? That's what a -1 does. So here's what I got going on. 6x plus, ooh, don't forget my little box there. So 6 cut in half is 3. 3 squared is 9. But be careful, I'm not going to do 9 on both sides. What am I going to do on the other side? -9, thank you. Do you see why? Because it's got that negative. So here's what I've got. Y minus 6 equals -1 on the outside. X, oh, sorry, forgot the x squared. X plus 3 squared. Pop that 6 to the other side. Boom. There we go. If we were going to graph it, so easy. 3 this way, 6 up. Upside down graph, because that's what the hell a -1 does, right? That's what the hell it is. Is that going to be right? Well, we did half initially and did the calculus. Nice. I was impressed with that. Okay. last one is for you to try alone. Let's see if you can go all the way through it. While you're doing that, I'll show you some of these. So my daughter was having a really bad week. She has decided to get her teaching credential, but she moved to Chicago. So she's working in inner city Chicago, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So she's having a really bad day, and I thought, oh, I'll send her flowers to make her feel better. But I thought she doesn't really need flowers. She needs something that more aptly describes her feelings right now. So I sent her this, but I sent myself one by mistake. So here is what Caroline got delivered to her because I think this describes her life right now. It's a cactus. Is that a cactus? Like, that's adorable. You gotta admit, it's her flowers that she got. I thought it was really good. I sent her a cactus. I was like, she was, and so she went to her because she went to school in Illinois, University of Illinois. So literally all of her friends live there. So she's living, like, she was at a concert last night. Like, she's living the Chicago life, but she's also working at a very challenging school. Okay, you guys tell me how I do. I'm just gonna walk through it. -2 comes out. I'm gonna do x squared minus 8x plus box. Cut in half is 4, 4 is 16, but I gotta remember 32, so minus 32. Plus.
But the white, you still have the white supposed to read it. It's like, say there? Yeah. Yes. You left it.
No racing.
Well, I moved it. I didn't. So either cut that in half or square root that. It's the same number. You have a choice. You can either cut that in half or square root that. It's the same. 4, and then square. Okay. 8. Cut in half.
Then I do that step. So negative. So there's a negative part. Like once I pull it out, it switches inside, and then also.
Okay, so here comes our homework. Oh, not quite our homework. Let's try this. Let's try this. I was uncomfortable by that one. I don't quite know what to do with this sometimes. I know. And I'm on video. Sorry, there you go. Can you please find all 4? Can you find all 4? You do. Factor. Start with factoring. Big babies. It's everything. So I'm hoping he didn't realize that's what he was doing, but I don't really know.
I don't know.
But again, this is what makes it from second year algebra for calculus.
I don't even know what points you are.
No.
I see you. No, I just heard you come in. I recognize the signal. Can I see your arms?
My arm?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't think they're that hairy.
They're not. Oh, they're pretty hairy. I'm Middle Eastern,
How'd you do? Did we get all?
What is that? H2X.
So here's my
Yeah,
regular.
right there, not a 6.
Here's my backwards. Here's my vertex. Here's my graph. That is everything. Okay, we got one last one to do, and no, that's gonna be our homework. But I want to show you. So here's what. The last thing we're gonna try is this.
Yeah,
We're gonna do all 4, but I am not starting you with standard form. Here's the nice thing. I've already done the vertex form for you. So let's see if we can get the standard form and then factor form, right? Because that's because we're jumping around. So here's what, normally, I would say this is pretty easy to do, but I'm not gonna lie, I put up a pretty tough one. So we're gonna follow the order of operations here. You guys ready? So I want you guys to be very, very careful. The first thing that we got to do on this one is we have to do the exponent. But if anyone puts x squared plus 9, I'm going to drive to your house and I'm going to kick your dog. Right? Because that is not what we do when we have squares. We write it twice and plot it. So we're not going to deal with this guy yet. That -1, we'll deal with them afterwards. Order of operations says do this guy first. So x plus 3, please start there.
Oh, so I switched it. One line to 2 plus 3.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, am I missing something here?
No, I always give you 1. Yeah. That is vertex form, and I'm going to put it in standard form.
Right, but where's the x plus the x? Where's that?
Not even understand.
I am writing it twice, right?
What?
The binomial twice. So here I go. Here to here, x squared, here to here, plus 3x, here to here, plus 3x, here to here, plus 9. So just this part, I have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now I got to deal with this dude, right? Now I got to deal with this dude. So please deal with that dude. Put him out to everybody. Distribute him. -1x squared minus 6x minus 9. Okay, I have done exponents. I have done multiply. There's one last thing I got to consider. The 16. The 16. I am not going to lie, you learned this in Algebra 1, but it's been a hot minute. It has been a hot minute. It has been. Hold on, let me just keep going. Okay, hold on. I got to keep going. Okay. That is standard form. Talk to me. Yeah, A can be negative on standard form. Here's why. That's the only way we'll get an upside down graph, right? So here, when we do standard form with the x, when we're doing systems of equations with x and y on the same side, yes. All right, put on this one. Okay, now the last part of this, and then I'm going to shut up and I'm going to check up homework super fast. I want you to factor this guy. Now, to factor him, we don't like a negative in front. So the first thing I want you to do is vacuum out that negative and then factor him. It's easy to factor once you vacuum out the negative. So vacuum out the negative. This is standard form. This is standard. I want you to do factored. And here's what it's going to look like at the end. It's going to have a negative out front, and it's going to have 2 parentheses. You can do this. You did this last night. But don't get rid of that negative, and here's why you can't, because I don't have a 0 to cancel out, right? I'm almost finished it, so you'll have to borrow from someone. And, yeah. Did you get it now?
Alright, 7. Is it not things that add up to be
Multiply to be 7, add to be negative 6.
Is it -7?
I may, no, here's why, because I took the negative out, so it's -7, +6. That's hard, that's hard. Will it be that hard tonight? It will not, it will not, it will not be that hard tonight. God, stop, it's harassment now, and then it's gonna be awkward, and I have to talk to me. Justin's being sexually harassing in class.
I'll make those jokes at home too.
Oh my God. Sorry, Tiff.